Been a mixed bag of news on the retail front in Canada. Data from April show, as expected, a massive decline in retail sales in that month, 26% in fact. But the expectations, at least a flash read for May, is that we will see a big rebound, close to 20%, as of course some businesses get back to work. We are though hearing about across the U.S. Kind of a mixed picture of the fears of a second wave of COVID-19, and Apple Computer today saying that it is reshuttering some stores in some U.S. states, including Florida and Arizona, as they encounter a resurgence in the number of COVID-19 cases. Of course, many retailers, even those that are in areas that are allowed to reopen across Canada, are doing so on a limited basis with higher costs and a lot of care being taken about their customers and their staff. Heather Reisman is the founder, chair, and CEO of Indigo, and she's with us now. Heather, so great to have you with us. And I guess I'd like to just start with, if you will, give us a sense of the state of your business, how things stand now, given everything that's going on.
The good news is that we have been able to open about 60 or 70% of our stores, with expectation that the balance of the stores will open in the next 2 weeks. So that's good news, and we're always looking for the good news. But I cannot overstress how challenging this environment is today. It's a very, very demanding environment, very demanding.
Have you yet had to think about, Heather, some stores that will not reopen? In other words, in your future, are there store closures, or have you gotten your head around anything like that yet?
There are a small number of small format stores, that is our Kohl's stores, that we have always felt a commitment to because they serve communities that are remote, and they have been effectively money-losing stores for a long time. We carried them because we thought it was our responsibility to do it. But we have made decisions. We have closed 20 stores, which were either not profitable or very, very marginal. And that was a tough decision because in those communities, we were the only bookstore, and I suspect the only store willing to operate at a loss to serve the community. So yeah, these times make you make very difficult decisions. Looking forward, Amanda, I can't even begin to tell you what is on the minds of almost every retailer today. I can't begin to tell you. What our Canadian government does not seem to understand is that the job of a CEO is to look forward and to manage the shoals, the challenges coming at us in the best way. As we look to the most important season for retailers, which is the holiday season, when our retail stores are always chock-a-block, and we have to project handling maybe a third or 40% of our normal business, the depth of the losses we are looking at are literally as seismic as this COVID event is to the world. And we cannot seem to get the government to understand this. And the impact on jobs sorry, go ahead.
If you could, what do you need? What does the retail sector need from government in that context, Heather? If you could get them to understand just the severity here, what could be done?
I'll tell you what we need, and I want to put it in the context of something very important to Canadians. As I've said to you many times, our sector employs 1.6 million Canadians, most of them in frontline jobs. What we need is either low-cost loans to get us through maybe 2 years, very affordable, low-cost loans, to get us through 2 years, which is a small give on behalf of the government, or sustaining their current employee top-up program, which allows us to bring people back to work, and which allows the retail sector to separate the sales in retail from the sales in online. Because online is not only far marginally, it's marginally profitable, but our costs and our jobs are in the retail world. So either they take the CUES program and say retailers can continue this program for some number of months forward, or they provide low-cost loans, truly low-cost loans, their cost of money. They need to do something.
And when you say some months forward, how many are we talking? I know you've told us before that this is going to go on longer than it seems government is aware. How long would you say retailers need that support?
We need some support through the end of this year, because all of the money we would normally make is made in the holiday quarter. So we have to sustain those losses, plus the cumulative losses of having lost a full quarter of sales and the inventory markdowns that come with having to sell the goods we had at 50 cents or 40 cents on the dollar. So no one is going to say they're dying today, although we are all making important decisions. It's seeing the trajectory and the likely fallout. And Amanda, is a message I'm trying to get across. If the Canadian government is cavalier about jobs at this moment, it will take half a decade for them to come back. Half a decade. So, yeah, I'm pretty sanguine today. I'm a little bit frustrated. There are amazing companies in this country.
Note, you're talking about survival. Indigo is one of the strongest, best capitalized players. Many of the players in retail are small, individual, independent. They've got everything riding on the next day's sales. How urgent is this?
It is urgent. I wish, Amanda, you could hear the conversations that I have had over the last 2.5 months. I wish you could hear from some of the employees we have that are passionately committed to the business, whose hearts are broken that they won't have jobs. And I know this is happening everywhere. It is, I can't remember a time in my life when I felt both for Indigo, for my colleagues in this industry, for Canada, that the lack of understanding demonstrated to this moment about the importance of business to doing all the things we value as Canadians, our social programs, our cultural programs, our infrastructure.
All right.
So,
Heather, unfortunately we're at time here. We have to leave there, but we very much welcome your view on this as one of the biggest players in retail. Heather Reisman, founder, chair, CEO of Indigo.